What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Borderlands 4 here, running on the ROG Ally X, and of course Windows 11 here with everything updated at the time of making this video. And the game has had its original day one patch, but nothing really since then. And performance, if you've been paying attention, has been one of the points of contention when it comes to fans and the launch of this game. It certainly had its issues on all kinds of PCs and platforms, and of course with its requirements, not a surprise how difficult it is to run on the handhelds, but nevertheless you can get it pretty playable here on the Ally X. I do have to pretty much run things at 720p, but you could do 900p as well. I'm going to show you those settings here as we get into it. I don't have any VSync on here. I'm to my capture card, but VRR on the screen looks pretty good. We're going to use FSR here, performance quality balanced, although you do have XeSS and TSR to choose from. We have frame generation, which I'm going to show in the video as well. And we're on the low preset, and if I try to turn anything up, really it just gets kind of worse, especially if you get into some heavier running areas. Now I'm still in the first beginning kind of camp town area, getting into some missions, side quests, things like that. But like I said, 1080p really is tough to try to run here, and depending on where you're at is really going to get you down into the 20s and then up into the 30s, and even with frame gen isn't going to be the greatest experience. So 900p or 720p with some upscaling is going to pretty much get you there depending on what you're trying to get here, but 720p is going to give you the most without more upscaling. So if we go to 900p here, low preset, we have FSR performance. We'll go from that 28-30 FPS of the 1080p here to about 36-37. If we change that over to quality as far as the FSR at 900p, we'll come right back down to the 1080p performance here. So obviously you got to be aggressive there with the upscaling. If we go to 720p FSR quality, we'll go back up to what we had at 900p with performance at around 36-37 here, and then we can put that at balanced and it'll put us something in between there, get us 38-39. And again, if it gets really busy and GPU heavy, that'll help a little bit more when we get into it. And that's ultimately what I wound up with there. Now there's in-game frame generation, which works pretty well with this game. However, there's a little bit more input latency than I've experienced in some other titles. Maybe that can get fixed up, but we're also dealing with a low base frame rate, here no matter what anyway. So it's not always going to feel the best, but it is there. It does work, and I'll show some gameplay with that. You could also get into lossless scaling or using the AMD app features, but really I didn't have to get into any of that, and the in-game features are fine. And again, this game's just really hard to run in general, and it could be worse here probably on the handhelds than it is, but at least we can get it to something that is at least somewhat playable, even if it isn't the best experience. And without frame generation or lossless or something isn't something we can really get to 60 FPS, which would be nice, especially with such low settings and low resolution. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with some gameplay here for both with and without frame gen, so you can see some more performance. As always, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm on site with hostiles. Clear to engage in exfil with the asset?
Taking the naive optimism, rookie. But Crimson Resistance business is never that simple. The portrait's actually inside a nearby depot. But you'll need a keycard to get in. And that keycard is conveniently located on the soon-to-be corpse of that jerk who stole my stuff. Find the jerk, terminate his command. Terminate with extreme prejudice. I say to kill the guy in case that wasn't clear.
This guy needs to get out more. Claptrap! How's a robot like you know a beautiful lady like this?
Oh, that Moxie. She's an old flame, in the sense that she lit me on fire one time, and then another 5 times. Whew! Speaking of old flames, your next task is to salvage the speech processor of a former ally Claptrap unit, Veronica! Off gates to the solar array!
Why do I keep risking my life for your arrogance? This photo hardly seems mission critical.
Oh, pictures don't do Moxie justice. She's got it all. Brains, business sense, boundaries. We'd spend hours just talking.